Good. Um, we should be live.
All right. And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to season 9 of Kaleidoscope, Gambler's Paradise, where this season it's going to be how much you risk is going to ultimately what leads to how much you get rewarded with. Ultimately, one winner will walk away with a grand prize of $150 for being able to outwit, outlast, and outplay all of the rest. Everything involving this season is going to be twist filled in the essence of Sin City. You have been welcomed to the virtual Las Vegas, where I, Topher the Chauffeur, am your host and dealer. So, first things first, let's talk a little bit about the rules. Just for a little bit of terminology's sake, tribes are called syndicates. Why? Because in the history of Las Vegas, a gambler's herald was called a syndicate. They were your underground groups. And so, as a grouping, you as a tribe will be syndicates instead of tribes. Players, you'll be known as gamblers, and the tribal councils this season will be called the dealer's table, where you will come to the table to see what hand you are dealt and how well you played it. Just to go over a quick few ground rules, this is a Survivor based org, so it does have the essence of Survivor involved with it. There are tribes, you vote each other out, there are ways to win hidden immunity idols and things of that nature. So everything Survivor based is also made up into this with a couple extra twists that make Kaleidoscope very unique. Think Survivor meets an escape room meets Dungeons and Dragons. We ask as far as conduct goes because Kaleidoscope has been built on a reputation in the org community of being able to maintain a respectful atmosphere that we ask that you please be respectful of one another. Okay, you can get into as many fights as you would like to get in, but please avoid derogatory or offensive nature. Nothing that could be perceived as bullying or harassment or hate speech. This will not be tolerated. If you feel that somebody has violated these rules, just inform production in your pod chat. We'll do an investigation. But hopefully, we never have to do that because everybody is going to keep their integrity above board. Speaking of integrity, our game, this is a game. Okay, so therefore, please no cheating. Just keep everything in the game. We have built this phenomenal server for you to play in. So if you do not have access to be able to chat with somebody in the server, please do not chat with them off server in relation to this game. I understand that people may be friends or aware of each other outside the game. I'm not saying you can't talk, but do not talk about this game or anything taking place within it. Keep everything as above board as possible. Okay. We do have a three strike rule. It's fairly simple. If you no call, no show a challenge, we are very, very flexible on our challenges. We give you a lot of heads up of when challenges are going to take place. We vote on times for the challenge. We are generous with being able to sit out of a challenge as long as you communicate with us. If you are expected to be at a challenge and you do not show up and you do not inform us that you cannot show up, this is considered a no call, no show, and it will result in a strike. Okay. Same with if it is a non-live challenge and you fail to submit a challenge without discussing with production. Um, we do ask every round for a pre-vote prior to the dealer's table or tribal council. Failing to pre-vote and then not showing up at tribal council can result in a self-vote as well as a strike because we have nothing to go off of. And then no activity in your prod chat for an entire cycle. We don't expect you to be on 24/7. Of course not. But an entire cycle would be from one dealer's table to the next. If you are just completely MIA without communicating with us what is going on, you will be deemed inactive and you will receive a strike for that. Three strikes and you will be removed from the game. Depending on your removal from the game, it'll be considered a disqualification or a medical evac. We do understand that these games can have a physical, mental, and emotional toll on people. So we just need you to check in with us so that way we know how you're doing doing mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. At the end of the day, this is a game and we care about you and we do want to put your mental health first. So just be open and honest with us. Your prod chats will never be revealed, okay, outside of your own personal self. So you don't have to worry about what you say in there. It's completely up to you. Confessionals. Confessionals are not mandatory. However, we highly recommend them. If you'd like to schedule a time with production, or you just simply want to send us a video letting us know how you're feeling about things going on in this game, we absolutely appreciate that and adore that. Those will end up getting uploaded to the YouTube channel that will be released after the season. So consider a confessional a chance to give your input on what's going on with the season that people will then eventually be able to look back on. You also have the opportunity to VLDR. What that means is it's sort of like live tweeting to the viewers lounge. There's a viewers lounge that's following along with every little thing that's happening in the game. They don't get to know who's in alliances or who has idols or things like that that could affect your game. However, they do know what you choose to tell them, and you can make that conscious choice by saying VLDR. If you put VLDR before a phrase, then that allows for this to go out into the audience and they get to have fun and enjoy and have a good time with you. Some of the VL's favorite players are those that VLDR a lot. You know, we like to hear your thought processes. You have a couple different types of chats. There's the prod chat. Again, that's what we just discussed. You get to interact with production in there. It is a completely private prod chat unless it is a confessional that will then be viewed after the season or a VLDR that will be sent out to the VL. Players will not see it, but the VL will. The announcement chat, that is where you're going to get to see all of the announcements take place. Your tribe chat, or in this case, your syndicate chat, that is going to be the chat in which you get to conversate and participate in public discussion with other players that are also in your syndicate. And then you have your one-on-one chats. Those chats are just chats between two players. For an alliance chat, if you would like to form an alliance with more than two players that are on your same syndicate, then all you need to do is at production, tell us who you want in your alliance chat. We will make the alliance chat for you. In order for that alliance chat to be given a VC, which is a video chat, you will need to name the alliance. And then you have your VC chat, which is a video chat, which you can hop in. Each player has a one-on-one video chat. With every player, you have a one-on-one text chat with, and you are welcome to join. Voice channel chats can be made available upon request for your prod guests, which brings me to prod guests. You're going to be allowed to have up to two prod guests prior to the merge, and then after the merge, you can have three prod guests. So if you have somebody in mind that you would like to have be your cheerleader, be in your prod chat to bounce ideas off of and discuss things with, you most certainly can just request them. We will ask the VL to help fill up spaces that are empty. So if somebody requests being in your chat, like say Zach asks from the VL, hey, I'd like to be in Jen's chat. We'll ask Jen's permission. Do you want to have Zach in your prod chat? And Jen consents, then Zach will be in the prod chat as well. Challenges, there's three types of challenges. There's live, non-live, and semi-live. So live challenges are challenges that have a set time and date associated with them. So we will pre-plan those. You will be forewarned when a live challenge is coming. Most team live challenges will not require all players. We do this intentionally to give as much flexibility as possible. And will be voted on by everybody involved as to what time it will be. A non-live challenge is a challenge that you do on your own time. And then a semi-live challenge is a challenge that you schedule with production, either you as a person or you with your syndicate. Sometimes challenges may require a certain number of participants, and if your challenge has more participants, or if your syndicate has more participants than necessary, some players may need to sit out of the challenge. At the dealer's table, attendance is not mandatory, but it is highly encouraged. After all, this is Survivor, and that's where all of the fun is taking place. We will vote each round on when the dealer's table is going to occur. And then, based off of the majority of vote, if we can have the majority be there, you will be allowed to show up, and we will have a open discussion about how the round is going, and then go from there into a vote. We will ask that you pre-vote prior to the dealer's table. Once you've pre-voted, you do have the ability to change your vote all the way up until we ask you to confirm the vote. Once we go off camera and I am muted, that is when all discussion of game will cease. You cannot talk. The votes will have been in the process of being cast. So I will say at the dealer's table, I am about to go off camera and mute myself. While I am away, you may feel free to talk about anything except for this vote and the game. That means the round is over. You cannot talk about the game anymore. However, you can give shout outs and fun things like that. Then you will cast your votes or confirm the vote that you have already cast, and then we will ask if anybody has a hidden immunity idol or other relevant advantage, that there would be the time to do so. You may then play that. If you are not going to attend, you can ask to pre-request that something gets played if you have it. And if that's the case, then you will receive it'll be played in your stead while you're not there, and that may affect how the vote goes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. You will be eliminated from the game, and at that point, you will have a moment to speak your piece. If you did not show up to tribal, you will have the ability to speak your piece post elimination. You'll get to send a message to your tribe. So that way your voice is heard. The number one thing that we ask for is that in a game with 20 people that only has the luxury of having one winner, there means 19 of you will have the unfortunate circumstance of not winning this game. And we ask that you please show the same amount of dignity and respect to each other on their way out the game as you want on your way out the game. All right. So that is all of the fun stuff as far as your standard gameplay. When it comes to the idol system, you are going to have the ability to visit the blackjack table. You will visit the blackjack table via a bot. You are going to each start with a certain amount of chips. You can then use that chips to gain access to more chips by gambling them in a hand of blackjack. You can play one hand of blackjack a day. You also have the ability to gift your chips to another player. Okay. Once you are out of chips, then that is done. You are not eligible to play blackjack anymore. And so therefore you have, no chance at securing an idol or other advantage. Once you have a certain amount of chips, you will have the ability to then visit the casino store. You will only have the ability to see the items available to you that you can afford at the casino store. So you will not know what the number of chips necessary to reach an idol will be until you hit that number of chips. There is only one idol per syndicate. So once somebody has earned enough chips to win that idol, they can then purchase that idol and they have the hidden immunity idol. All right. And nobody else can then purchase that idol. So the other advantage that we have, and if you have any questions about this at all, we don't expect you to have it down by memory just from me speaking. These rules are going to be sent out, and you're also going to be able to ask us as many times as you would like in your production chat if you are not familiar with the rules. The main rule to remember is you get one blackjack hand a day. So do not play a second hand of blackjack. The first time you do that, you will not get to idle hunt for 2 rounds, meaning 2 blackjack tables. The third time you do that, you will not be able to, period. All right. Now, the dreaded Final Five twist. Kaleidoscope is known for having a unique twist at Final Five, where it is not a traditional vote. Somehow, one person will earn the power this season of becoming the pit boss. The pit boss has the ability to remove another player from the casino that they deem unworthy of staying in the casino and in the game. The way this works is at the final five, the ultimate power is going to come with the ultimate risk. Throughout the season, the gambler who has received the most votes against them without being eliminated that round, most uh casted votes. So idols do not affect, like if you are negated by an idol, it does not count. So the most votes cast against them that count without being eliminated that round will earn the prestigious title of Pit Boss. As the Pit Boss, you hold the power to bounce another gambler from the game. However, with great power comes great danger, because when you bounce a gambler, they will then have the opportunity to deflect the bounce onto another player of their choice. The two gamblers, the original target and the deflected target, will then have the chance to plead their case to the group, and the remaining players will vote between the two to decide who will be eliminated. In the event of a tie, the pit boss casts the deciding vote. The catch is the pit boss can be anybody, either in the game or on the jury. So if you make jury and you happen to secure a lot of votes that didn't cause your elimination, you could still potentially be the pit boss and wield power in the game and essentially cast somebody up for elimination. So that is the big twist of the season. That is all of the different elements that are going to come into play in this game. Other than that, it is up to you players to determine how you want to play the game. This is your season. This is what you make it. This is your fun. This is your group. These are the people that you get to bond with for the next couple of weeks. So we ask, enjoy yourselves, have a good time, lie, deceive. You can either be partying in the suite or be dirty on the street. It is Sin City and you are in Gambler's Paradise. We encourage making big moves and taking big risks. But at the end of the day, always remember to have fun. That's what this is all about. We are here for you as your prod team. I, as Topher the chauffeur, will be your grand host for the entirety of the season, and we are so glad to be back and welcome you here into this game. Your one-on-ones have already been created. You may feel free to participate in your one-on-ones. The challenge will be announced a little bit later. It is a non-live challenge, so you will get to participate at your leisure. But we do encourage participation. You'll see when the challenge gets revealed. Alrighty, that is all I have for the big show. So I'm going to go ahead and